is starting Asia. So we are in the middle of everything. We are global. Hello, Bashkim. Hello, all. We start now after 2 minutes. Hello, Lenza. Hello, Sharifa. Bashkim Debri from North Macedonia is one of the pillars of the Win-Win Initiative and one of the main co-author of our book and our course also. Lensa is the technical coordinator of this course. And thank you, Lensa, for your efforts. Okay, I think that we can start now. I see here my brother, Will Negwa, who is the director of all this show, the Win-Win, the Global Health Catalyst, our Global Oncology University. He runs the show and he is doing a very big efforts that will succeed together. We can start now. Okay. Hello. I am Ahmed Al-Zawawi, clinical oncologist. Professor of clinical oncology. And I am glad to be among you today. I am broadcasting today from Port Said, Egypt. It is the first video of our course program of the Global Oncology Implementing Science. You hear me? Of the Global Oncology University. We welcome you all and to this program, and we expect that at the end of the program will be all the heroes, our heroes, who advocate for increased affordability of better value cancer care in the world via scientific approaches, win-win models. It's not via slogans, via declarations, but via exploration scientific approaches. Along this course, and this is the first course of global oncology on implementing science, you will see and we'll discuss together. And please be free in your comments, in your feedback and everything, in exploring many examples, tens of scientific examples that could lead to increased access to cancer care. All of them are published. We have no invention, but the problem is in our implementation of this together. If our working together to develop that, to get more and to implement what we have, and I don't know why we miss it. In the start, we have some video lecture together. It will be concentrate on the introduction for the notion of the course, about the notion of the win-win initiative, about the global oncology, notion of the global oncology. It is not, as you will see, it is very broad, and it concerns all of us. Then we'll go together in module 2 and module 3, particularly for module 3. It contains several lectures about science, about in a way that could be feasible by all to increase access to cancer care, lowering the total cost of cancer treatment, the total cost, not the drug per se or the radiation oncology, and without compromising the outcome on patients, and to get better value of cancer care, value-based cancer care centered on patients, on scientific ways in which nobody will lose, all will win in the real world. Let me share with you the screen. And till that, I would like to say that if I speak today and in some of lectures, that it is on behalf of all the faculties, distinguished faculty of our team. All of them are involved in most, if not all, the organizations and societies and big societies in the world. United States, in Europe, Africa, Asia, Latin America, everywhere. So we are not something new, but we have, all of us, a long history involved in all activities and till present. And institution coming from different big institutions in the in many parts of the world, particularly from big institutions, United States, Europe, Latin America, the distinguished persons in from Africa, who are the heroes really, and from many parts, Asia, surely. Well. We start today with introduction about the Global Oncology University, the win-win collaborative education model. I am, as I told you, I am Ahmed El-Zawawi. I am MD, chair of Win-Win Initiative. You will see together with the Win-Win Initiative, the notion of the Win-Win Initiative to increase affordability of better value cancer care. Chair of Board of Directors for Global Oncology, and this is the website. All these websites, it is accessible to all of you, to all of us. It is belong to all of us, to all of you. Add your comments, add your critics, add your scientific suggestions, ideas, articles. I am founder president of ICDOC. ICDOC is International Campaign for Establishment and Development of Oncology Centers. It was registered in Texas, USA. And ICDOC's Experts in Cancer Without Borders. This is a website. It's a website. You will find many resources for articles, videos of that shows what we mean by win-win initiative, what we mean by that belongs to all. Past the president of AORTIC, it is African Organization of Research and Training in Cancer. And I was vice president for more than 6 years, but I'm one of the founders of the revival of aortic, and I am also until I become the past president in aortic. A professor of clinical oncology with University of Ismailia and chairman of Al Suleiman Radiation Oncology Centers in at Port Said, Egypt. Some of this material was presented in our Global Health Catalyst Summit in 7 and 9 from 7 to 9 July 2022 in John Hopkins, Washington, and in our meeting in University of Pennsylvania and in Harvard University. I'm sorry for the long introduction today because this is our first video, and this is for all videos after. When I introduced first the notion of the win-win initiative on December 2007, I had never claimed that it will represent me personally or any personal credit, but it belongs to all the leaders, faculty, and all the willing and all who have the same goal. It belongs to all. Welcome all. What I present today is not only on my behalf, but it represents the leaders, faculty, and the team of the win-win movement. We are an orchestra. Her Royal Highness Princess Dina Mirad, honorary ambassadors of the win-win movement, and immediate past president of the UICC, Sir Professor Will Gray, who lead the triple value cancer health care in UK and in the world, Professor Will Negwan, the director of the Global Health and the GOIS, a list of leaders, as you see, faculty and founders like Professor Eduardo Gazap, Professor David Kerr, Professor Kero Zikora, Professor Tuadib Nyogoma, Professor Stephen Avery, Professor Ricardo Odesio, Professor Nicholas Abinia, Professor Luca Incrucci, Professor Khaled from Egypt, Professor Ghulam Abu Zakaria from Germany, Professor Hertes from Germany, Professor Siful Haq from United States, El Baines from UK, Muller from Rumi Muller from Harvard, Bashkim Zibari from Macedonia, William Swanson, USA, credit for, and Omariu and Yasmin Karim from Harvard and USA, and now is in other university and so on. Lydia Asana from Florida, Jennifer Shin, USA also, and recently Nobe from Radiation Knowledge and Win-Win. In collaboration with many distinguished leaders, experts, and partners in the world, we are open for all contributions and participation and join as faculty and all activities. Welcome all. I'm sorry to be long today, but I have to make this introduction. It will not be repeated, but it will be known that when I say something, I represent many, and it is the product of many. We are an orchestra. Once again, the win-win will continue and succeed only with the contribution and leadership of many. And we belong to all. Welcome all. Going with the important concepts of a win-win movement, and I stress on that. The term chair or president or director, or whatever term you hear here or in all our activities of any win-win activities, doesn't mean that he or she is the most knowledgeable or most skillful or important, or he or she claims a credit, but he or she coordinates and serves in arranging and facilitating the distinguished expert and personality in the world, and seniors and juniors colleagues both would focus on achieving our common goal of the movement. The credit is for the doers of any positive action that serve the common objectives. As detailed in presentation and publication of the leader and faculty of the Win-Win Movement and in our new book, Approaching Global Oncology, the Win-Win Model, the Win-Win Movement aims at increasing the affordability of better value cancer care for millions of underserved cancer patients in the world, in affluent countries, in low middle income countries, all via scientific approaches and within win-win scenario. So it is global. We don't mean global that's just some poor country or low middle income countries. Any country is part of the world. We will succeed if we only have this concept of being global. And there are millions of underserved patients in the most affluent countries, and millions also with different variabilities and different causes in low middle income countries. So we are serving the human beings wherever they are, and we arrange and accommodate and allocate things according to the needs, scientific studies in every community. We are not, it is global. And we respect these varieties of things. In December 2007, as I said to you, the Win-Win Scientific Initiative was proposed by me as initiative of ICDOC, experts in Cancer Without Borders. It joined Harvard Global Health Catalyst Program in 2016. The program ended in spring of 2021. The Win-Win Initiative continues as a movement. That's now as a movement that welcomes collaboration, cooperation, and partnership, and a forum for all. The two wings of the Win-Win Initiative. The first wing, or I can say with your win-win initiative, our win initiative together. The first wing is exploring scientific approaches to increase affordability of better value cancer care. This includes cost-effective, resource-sparing cancer treatment, and more important, to get better value cancer control and care for cancer patients in the world via exploring scientific approaches. Exploring scientific approaches. We are not speaking about slogans, about theoretic things, but scientific approaches and win-win scenarios. The second wing of the win-win was proposed in November 2015 and declared in 29 April 2016 during the Harvard Catalyst Program Summit. This wing regards catalyst action and professional advice to increase enormously the rate of establishment of service and clinical oncology in the world, starting from the most difficult challenges in Africa. It is global, but concentrate in how we have some particular surely work in the poorest areas. The Global Oncology University is among our important channels that includes, among others, scientific researches and win-win publications movement, including our new books. Some example of publication and videos are in the ICDOC, are in 3W-ICDOC.net, 3W-ICDOC website. Second, a core of win-win doers and catalysts in different parts of the win-win ambassadors, consultant, advisor, collaborators, and partners. The Global Oncology University, GOIS, for better cancer control worldwide. It is virtual online education plus on-site training and fellowship, and many activities. Welcome to the virtual Global Oncology University. We are an award-winning education model in global health. Global Oncology University for better value cancer control worldwide. The GOIS was founded with collaboration and funding from the universities, for example, Harvard, University of Pennsylvania, Johns Hopkins University, University of Massachusetts, Oxford University, Heidelberg, Germany, NIH, surely, the USA, and Global Health Consortium involving professional societies, including low middle income country societies. There are growing partnerships involving industry and ministries of health in different countries, as stated by Wilfred Negwa. Several ministries of health looking to build current human capacity to strengthen the healthcare system. The needs. What is the need for that? There is a deadly need to increase enormously the human capacities to increase access to better value cancer care in the world. So there is a great need to hugely increase opportunities for education, training, stimulating scientific researches and studies aiming at solutions. Yes, certificates and consequently degrees in the near future. We started by this program first, and we'll pass to programs of degrees after. Otherwise, the talk about affordability, disparities, and equality in cancer care in the world will be just repeated slogans. Needless to repeat that despite of all conferences, reports, classic publications, commissions, agendas, programs, the gap between the required cancer care and the available was widened in the last decades. And there is no convincing evidence at all that the needs wouldn't be increased in the third decade of the 21st century. It is known that the most of this shortage or absence is in low middle income countries. Why education? Because education is the most weapon which you can use to change the world, as Nelson Mandela stated. I present here some brief with clear messages. Over the last 2 decades until present, there are many talks, strategy, commission, publication, initiative, and summits and declaration about that they will increase affordability of cancer care or drugs, cancer treatment by 2025, then we say 2030, or other dates before 2020 and 2015 and so on. There are many previous announcements and publications. But despite of all, do you notice any remarkable increase in the affordability of better value-based cancer care in the real world since these many announcements or publications? I don't think so. No. Do you have other opinion? Please send to us with publication or evidence. We learn. To give the real example from the real world, did the gap between the required available radiotherapy and cancer care in the low middle income countries, or better to say underserved regions, increase in the last 10 years? Yes, the gap is increased. And this article is published by, you see this article in the Journal of Global Oncology, published by many colleagues from IAA, from Asia, from Europe, and from IAA, the authors of these articles, and published in Journal of Clinical Oncology 2016. In May 2013, WHO declared and published Global Action for Prevention and Control Non-Communicable Diseases for the next 7 years till the year 2020. This plan implies that 80% affordability of essential cancer drugs and medicine by the year 2020 worldwide. And this published by our friend David Collingridge, the editor-in-chief of Lancet Oncology, Richard Sullivan. The article, Affordable Cancer Care, Pipe Dream or Achievable Reality, Lancet Oncology, and this is the reference. Today, in 2023, there is no science of any remarkable progress toward achievement of this objective, that objective. A recent ASCO surveys and studies showed that nearly 40% of cancer patients in the United States find lack or have difficulties to access cancer care. 40%. You imagine this in the United States. How you can imagine in the situation in low middle income countries. According to similar studies, the first cause of fear of cancer among American patients is the financial burden on them and families. It comes surprisingly before fear of cancer, pain, and death. Here is the difference. You find here the reference. You can find it, and you find it in our books also. Study of ESTRO, European Society of Radiation Oncology. This is a study of European Society of Radiation Oncology, stated that more than 1/4 of patients in Europe didn't get the indicated radiotherapy. The reference here is Levin and Boras and Crow. But this article in 2020, provision and use of radiotherapy in Europe. Okay, this is the reference. In recent published study, the rate of increase of presentation of advanced cancer, advanced cervical cancer among white Americans exceeds the rate of increase of the rate of increase of advanced cases among the African Americans. Despite that the overall prevalence is still higher among African Americans, but the rate of increase in presentation of advanced cases are higher among white Americans. This is not the stereotype talks that we hear all the time. So once again, we stressed on that global means global. It is on not only the problems of low middle income countries, there are increasing needs in rich and advanced countries, and variable soaring up to tragic needs in low middle income countries. Our message is that to be sustainable and fair, every US dollar of any initiative from the United States or other rich countries and industry should be in the frame of innovative and smart win-win scientific approaches. It's not charity, it's not begging, it's not helping, and sometimes there are some corruption everywhere, as you know. This is the world. So the people in low middle income countries will get a valuable benefit of their for their health and not cover more corruptions. And given funds will return to taxpayer with more benefits to get better value cancer care for their own people. I would like to remind brothers and sisters in low middle income countries, and I am from Egypt, there is no free lunch. According to the notion of the win-win scientific initiatives that belongs to all, the winner will gain more and not less. We are not romantic. We are not. We are speaking about the real world. So we advocate for that. The winner will gain more and not less, but the underserved or not served at all will get the necessary. So no one will lose. Realistic human equality and not non-realistic slogans about equality. Today, in the win-win initiative and the GOIS, we are not starting from zero. But since 2017, we held online courses in clinical oncology, courses in clinical trials, led by Professor David Kerr, Oxford, and Professor Rachel Kerr, Oxford University, UK, surgical oncology led by Professor Riccardo Audicio and the faculty of the European Society of Surgical Oncology. Medical physics, Professor Stephen Avery, Professor Wilfred Negwa, Professor Siful Haq, Professor Pashkim Debri, and global oncology courses. This year, we are developing and going forward to make solid implementation sustainable and to be able to modify and change according to the innovation and circumstances in the future. With collaboration and focus goals, the Global Oncology GOIS is an endeavor that serves all, and it would have its particular brand or what I call special flavor that will be realized progressively together, all of us. We are focused on all aspects that could make big effective stimulus to create enormous global increase of better value cancer care via science and contributing in human capacity buildings by education, training, consultation, advice, catalyst efforts, considering several win-win scenarios. Hence, we keep eye focused on our sole goal in all activity structures, actions, and evaluations. B, it is not replacing any, but it is global endeavor, welcoming all contributions, suggestions, and advice. So all individuals and organizations could benefit of it in general. One of the notions of the win-win movement is that we are completing and not challenging any. So no rivalries. The needs and the challenges are huge. There is a need for all. We don't aim at getting any special glory or praise, but the credit would belong to all of the doers, the locals and the international. C, beside our own programs, also we present courses and certificates with partnership and contribution and collaboration with many. D, all willing organization will would send to our web links, information, program, and achievement in our webs and networks and communication. So with one click in the web, 3WICE.doc website or 3W GOIS.website or Global University, you will get access and announcement for many educational training, grants, fellowship from different sources, institutions, and organizations of the world. You will see that within 2-3 weeks, many more links will be announced. It is a win-win. It is global with the world broad scope of the term global. It is more and not less. The challenges and shortages in access and affordability of cancer care that professionals in different care disciplines face in the underserved regions are wider and variable than what is in Western countries. Moreover, there are fractions of underserved patients are in rich, and the most advanced countries are suffering from burden, lack of access, affordability of better value cancer care. So eventually searching and finding scientific solution in the real world is deadly needed. All will win. So we stress on that. The education objective and requirement of the Global University will be more and not less than the Western curriculum, and that of and surely more than that of the low-middle income countries as well, and with broader scope, providing different options and skills. So the cooperation and the input of many are needed for perpetual progress and updating. So it is not static, but dynamic and progressing programs. G, we don't claim that the faculty, partners, and contributors in the GOIS provide a magic stick for all problems, but it is hoped that it will contribute in stimulating currents of scientific movement by many experts in the world. It will include the audience and the candidates from the world. Welcome all. Focus on unlimited number of explorations of scientific avenues to increase the affordability of triple value cancer care in the real world. All will win. Here, reference. It is known that the real world in the real world there are many pharmaceutical companies oriented presentation, webinar, and conference. You see that in most of conferences nowadays and educational programs. We can accept contribution of sponsored lectures or webinars and support by industry, organization, and society, but it should be announces that is under the flag of GOIS and provides that every now and then during any webinar that we have the big virtual we have a big virtual session open for critical appraisal or opinion to adapt and how to adapt the local condition or to present reserves or scientific objection, agreement, and admiration. You can criticize, not just a presentation by whoever or for a special interest or then you have to accept it. You should be convincing and be transparent. Hence, transparency, flexibility, and flow of free thoughts are considered for all parties. Transparency is not manipulated views, but it's free views, but with full reflects of transparency, ethical politeness, and respect to all when commenting either in favor or against or criticizing. Unlike the present, unlike the present social media, no, we have to criticize deeply and scientifically, and for the sake of patients. It's very important. And this is my colleagues. This is the end of first video, and we'll continue the other notions in the next videos. Thank you for attention. And this is the website. You will find here the website. You will find access to critics or comments or suggestion or idea. Welcome all. Thank you all. The second video of lecture of Global Oncology Implementing Science program. I am Ahmed Zawawi, a clinical oncologist, professor of clinical oncology. I am from Egypt. I am chair the Win-Win Initiative and chair of board of director of Global Oncology University, and past president for Aortic African Organization for Research and Training in Cancer, and founder and president of International Campaign for Establishment and Development of Oncology Center that was registered in Texas, USA. It is just brief for introduction, and today we continue our long introduction about the Global Oncology University, which is needed really to know more about how it's run, how the Global Oncology University, our notions, before going further in the course. After introductory views and introductory lectures, in order to be together with the same understanding of what we are doing together, then we'll pass two modules. There are the module 2, module 3, which is the biggest modules, which is based mainly on scientific approaches to increase affordability of value cancer care. A lot of published scientific things, a lot of discussing, a lot of brainstorming issues, scientific issues. While there are a module for publications with the participation of eminent chief editors of some big journals like Lancet Oncology, eCancer, European Journal of Surgical Oncology, Annals of Oncology, Journal of Global Oncology, GCO Global Oncology, Science, and many other colleagues, important editors and publishers. Also, there are, frankly, we are very transparent. There are special modules for head of industry. With example here is a president of Varian Siemens, CEO of Varian Siemens, and chief officer of Varian, vice president of Electa, and lecture from them, and others also from industry to learn from them, but it's clearly prepared, presented as view of industry. We are not presenting seminars and lecture and books manipulated by industry or pharmaceutical company. But we are presenting all in transparent way, so you can't criticize anything. There are two other modules which goes parallel to in the course, along the course, which was examples of real success in cooperation, collaboration, an example of the growing department or scientific research, or a group of young catalysts, very promising, and work of this diaspora, and other things, and other examples of from Europe, East Europe, from Latin America, from Asia, from Africa. So it is because we are dealing with the real world, and at the end we have this the go forward message and discussion to discuss together what we'll do. So what we will discuss today is what is the new era of virtual. Our view for the new era of virtual professional cancer education, because what we are doing now is virtual professional cancer education. But what is this new era? What is how we can be could be very beneficial and not as just webinars and just. We advocate for the new era of graduate and postgraduate education, living, dynamic, quickly updated, and improving programs, and living production, publication, and professional books. Our living book, this is what our experience. We call it. I coined the term living for our first book, which is the base of this course. In fact, approaching global oncology, the win-win model, where there are web links for feedback, appraisal, suggestions, ideas, innovation, and improvement. For feedback, there are links for feedback in the book. You can feedback and go directly from that. It emails at least 4 or 5 in the same time, 5 or same co-founders of the endeavor, and then forward to other experts in the world. So it is there is a continuous interactive suggestions and updating. Focus on increased affordability of better value cancer care. In the era in which virtual universities take a role besides the mandatory classical university, it is not to cancel the role of the mandatory classical education. No, it is beside till now and maybe in the future. Webs could take place of the traditional terms of establishment, building, office, amphitheaters, and conventional universities, So in the web, you'll find this Department of Education, this Department of Students Affairs, this Department of, so there's not rooms, there's not departments, there's not buildings, but it is links in the web of this university. The design of their webs should be consider the feedback, interaction, and suggestion of all its progress. As the web is the main university establishment, hence availability to context with all boards, faculty, or lecturers, virtual offices, and information will be possible via the web. But the emails, account, and correspondence will not appear in the web. Hence, the message will forward by the webmaster or automatically to the concerned receiver and with CC according to the request of the sender. In this new era, the virtual university will assist in covering a big gap for the needs for existing university, for the need for new establishment for university education capacities, and even to augment its capacity. And virtual university will work with contributors from non-university. So the non-university will always provide with professor experts and in collaboration and cooperation with classical form of universities. Collaboration, cooperation is not replacing, but one more step, one more progress. Hence, the mandatory roles of and the great needs for the big institution, university, and organization will increase, and not the contrary. In the case of GOIS, it is known that there is a huge gap in availability and affordability of cancer services. It is not reasonable to think about increase of service or improvement without adequate number of skillful, knowledgeable, and updated professional cancer care and research, as we always say. It is known. Some advantage of e-learning, it becomes well known that there are plenty of benefits of e-learning. It's growing rapidly and massively. There are clear needs and enthusiasm for it. Recognizing that there are disadvantages of e-learning, our proposal for feasible solution will assure its success, sustainability, and progress with more innovation. This is a list. Look here, the list of the main disadvantages of e-learning are: online student feedback is limited. E-learning can cause social isolation. E-learning requires strong self-motivation and time management skills. Lack of communicational skills and development in online students. Cheating prevention during online assessment is complicated. Online instructors tend to focus on theory rather than practice. E-learning lacks face-to-face communication. E-learning is limited to certain disciplines. Online learning is inaccessible to the computer illiterate population. Lack of accreditation and quality assurance in online education. Okay, all these lists is true with some limits, but could be avoided and could be improved. So except number 9 here, online learning is inaccessible to computer illiterate population. It is not applicable to cancer education and professional cancer education, surely, nowadays. So our proposal in the GOIS to overcome main disadvantage of e-learning and virtual universities. Not when I say here, as I always say, when I say I in fact inspired from reading of many authors and the discussion and meeting with the leaders of the GOIS. Once again, the win-win movement and the GOIS in the win-win movement and the GOIS, we are performing as an orchestra. Apart from now, point 9, computer illiterate population, which is not relevant here, as the GOIS in its different fields and disciplines of professional cancer education, and not for general population, at least in this stage. So it is not for point 9 of computer illiterate is not relevant here. But In addition to classical virtual lecture or webinar, as the instructors are speaking to a distant audience, we add session every 1 or 3 sessions, flexible, for feedback, general relevant discussion, interaction, and exposing practical points and possibility of implementation and developments in the real world. It is not just question and answer at the end of session, but it would be with more time for open expressions and of audience. If in some courses the audience would be 20, 30, then the same group would meet virtually for discussions. If there is many more number, then it would be divided into groups to have interaction discussion between with facilitator from the university. The contributors in each group of this brainstorming and discussion will be interchanged with members of other groups every 2-3 sessions when the number is increased after, but not in the beginning of the start. So there would be opportunities for more exposure, interaction, exchanging of observations, thoughts for solving local problems, and to raise ideas and brainstorming points for further studies. This is what we add in our proposal for the e-learning in this model of the new model of the Global Oncology University. Besides these sessions for relevant scientific professional practice discussion, we would encourage to hold one session in the beginning and another one during the course or at the end of virtual for virtual social and general discussion. This could assist in raising the self-motivation and enthusiasm of participants. To conduct the above stated, it needs numerous instructors who themselves will be discussed first to explain our common endeavor and eventually their contribution. For this point, I expect that there will be many willing colleagues, volunteer instructors. By time, we are just starting this model. And in the beginning, in the comparison to long years of other experience before, and long experience of education in the world, if we have clear, concrete, progressive plans and developing global perspectives that welcome contributions, ideas, and innovation in the real world. We welcome all this. It should be welcome. The final goal of the GOIS must be clearly stated. It is main channel to increase affordability of better value cancer care. It is not for 1 million objective and goals. It's not to include everything good in the world. It is focused on that, to increase affordability of better value cancer care via scientific approaches and win-win scenario in the model. There are many other universities, there are many activities that concentrate in other aspects, important aspects in life and science and medicine and cancer and everything. And for that goal, professional human capacity building, education, training, research, and publication are mandatory. Some of the virtual sessions of the GOIS will be addressed to important practical issues. There are some videos for surgical operations in the surgical modules after, and we are developing this. I see this is a plan for not for this year, but for the years to come also with these perspectives. Planning for radiotherapy, clinical pharmacy, imaging, clinical examination, and diagnosis will not reinvent the wheel, or do not need needed efforts. While there are already many available links that we will refer to as references. We are not reinvent the wheel for this issue as videos and webs. That's beside growing materials by time. It's open for growing, for progress. It's not fixed. It's dynamic. So global should mean global. Regarding global should mean global. So regarding global university, some of the hope that it would I would like to emphasize on here, access to candidates from everywhere, provided they fulfill the requirement of courses or application to certificate or degree, or a guest it is, but for as guest is open for all. Surely, welcome. Welcome to instructors from all institutes and countries who present not only a course, but also valid experience, not necessarily to present a course or lecture, but valid experience, which is very important, researches or teaching skills that could serve scientifically cancer care in different communities. In the upcoming stages, we wish that the GOIS will be different with different language. For the future, I hope for near future, example Spanish with potential programs for with cooperation with Latin America, thanks to the main leader on the win-win movement and the co-founder of the GOIS, Professor Eduardo Gazap, President of Latin America and Caribbean Society of Medical Oncologists, LACOM, and co-director of Latin American Union of Cancer Institute, RINC. Moreover, we are wishing to conduct courses in Francophone, Chinese, Russian program, why not, in the future, with facilities of translation to and from English. In addition to focus on virtual learning, there are some opportunity for some courses, not all, but there will be opportunity, and there are some opportunity from some time to time, or for on-site training organized in partnership with the locals and maybe with some organizations and societies. It's welcome. We are not claim the credit of many things. It's based on collaboration, cooperation, and partnership. Also, there will be links to an announcement for the GOIS website and emails to the most opportunity of training offered by different organizations, society, universities, and institutes. There are current works on how to reduce or prevent cheating in assessment. For example, this we'll consider later in upcoming courses, not for this course, but courses for degrees and certificate and qualifications. We see the future. We think from now. We start with courses, but we think for the future. For example, a program called XMLT. It's not my invention. I pronounce it with difficulty, even as you see, XMLT, which use various anti-cheating measures such as automated ID verification and machine learning to detect fake test takers. However, this issue could be studied thoroughly and to consider what is suitable for the GOIS in the next progress and not necessary in this year. And this is the link for this example of anti-cheating program, anti-fake detect fake test takers. One other important point is the issue of accreditation of some programs and certificate and value are tackled. There are many current work on this study. We are working for this. Many of distinguished colleagues are working on that, particularly in the field of medical physics, to the need to consider after studying what could be feasible and realized practically in the upcoming year. Professor Wilfred Negwa, Stephen Avery, Sifal Haq, Bashkim Lebri are doing great effort in the issue of accreditation, particularly in the field of medical physics, aiming at the realization of the dream of accredited master and PhD in medical physics. They are consulting those who are expert and concerned with this issue. There are need for thousands of qualified, competent medical physicists that we are seriously speaking about the need, if we are speaking seriously about the need to cover the lack of 10,000 radiotherapy units in the world in the upcoming years. So imagine how much radiographer, technician, qualified radiation oncology, competent radiation oncology, clinical oncologists, and other disciplines, the oncology nursing, competent, skillful. We need thousands if we are seriously speaking about covering the lack of, reducing the lack of shortage of cancer care in the world. This is the end of part 2. And thank you for attention. and we'll continue together discussing, and welcome for your question and chat and ideas and suggestion of everything. And this is visit the web 3W GOIS website. Please note it. You'll find feedback, link to feedback, to question, to everything, to many things. Welcome you all. Thank you all. The next end here. Okay. Do you hear me well now? That if you have any question, you can even chat now or send emails to all the staff who are welcoming you. We are together. Second point that we'll continue next Wednesday at the same time at 4 p.m. and weekly till November 25th. We will be 2 sessions per week on Sunday at 2 p.m. and on Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Sorry for the long introduction here, but because it is not classical curriculum. It is really we would like to create a current of scientific movement by you. You are the advocate. Every one of you is would be an advocate for the increasing affordability of better value cancer care via scientific approach. We are scientists, we are doctors, we are physicists, we are physicians. So it is via science. Second thing, you initiate things together to go forward in these directions. Another point is that all these lectures is not like usual webinars, just speaking. Maybe you are tired of this long lecture today or something, or I am not very very smart in speaking. But what is more important that all our lecture are recorded and it will be available for all of you. So please also refer the links to these videos and lecture and education material to all. Moreover, the text of slides of today and most and many other speaking talks will be available. Then you can have it as text. When you say something with reference, then you will have the reference in front of you and you can use it anytime. I'm sorry that I scribe a lot of this time because there's a lot of points. There are also many other points. We'll see it later. There are many things that put for this initiative together special flavor, and we are very open to your suggestions and for your feedback and your for critics also. This is your initiative. This is our initiative together. Thank you. Is there any question or any suggestions? Not only now, but you can send at any time. You have the links to the feedback, and I'll send you the. We don't see slides of the first lecture. Yes, I send you slides. Send you full slides. Thank you. There's another comment. This is yours. Please write, send to us suggestions, and all we are team together. Beside me is Mahmoud El Masri, the technical director here, and from the other side of the Atlantic, Lensa and Fatumata
And I see here in the other side of the Mediterranean, Professor Bashkim Zebri, one of the co-directors of our work, and surely Professor Wilfred Negwa, who run all the show of the Global University with us. So please, if you have anything, we will build many things together. This is just a start. This is just introduction. And be patient. There will be many interesting scientific things. Is there any other question? Okay, I thank you. And can you summarize learning objective, please, Professor? Okay, we'll send that for you. Okay, we'll send everything for you. It's just a start. Thank you, Vivian, and we count on you as a expert in media. And besides lectures, there will be panels to discuss some brainstorming. This is different from just webinar. There will be some brainstorming panels to discuss some point together, like about hypofractionation, about drugs, about medicines, about media, about a campaign for early detection, from pharmacogenomic studies, for many things. And then it will be crystallized during the session after the panel to be a report or opinion article or e-cancer video. So we are just not lectures. There are also would be panels, discussion, and brainstorming. And one of these panels or more, we need Vivian to be with us because she is expert in media and so because we need a campaign really, and that will be initiated together. Thank you to all colleagues in Tanzania, my brother Twalib Ngoma, and all of you. Okay. I release you now because you may be tired of me, really. And thank you for your patience today. And we send you all materials and discuss and criticize and give idea and give suggestions. And you have the link to the book. Also, you'll the access to the book. Which is based of this course. The first chapter and the book's summary are free online. Thank you all and bye bye. And meeting you next Wednesday at the same time. Bye bye. Bye bye all. We are together. Win and win. Win win. Bye bye.